On Thanksgiving Eve, November 24th in 1971, the city of Portland was bustling with its usual activity. Amidst the crowd, a man using the name Dan Cooper boarded a Boeing 727 in Portland, Oregon, blending seamlessly with other passengers. He was smartly dressed, wearing a suit and tie, and carried a briefcase. His appearance was that of a typical businessman, nothing out of the ordinary. Settling into his seat in the last row, and ordered a drink. To the other passengers, he seemed unremarkable, just another traveller on a routine flight. Little did anyone know, this ordinary-looking man was about to commit a crime that would captivate America for decades, leaving an indelible mark on aviation history. Cooper's target was Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, bound for Seattle. The flight seemed routine, but it was about to take a dramatic turn. Shortly after takeoff, he passed a note to a flight attendant who was sitting in the jump seat at the rear of the airplane, claiming to have a bomb in his briefcase. The note was the beginning of a tense and calculated hijacking. His demands were simple yet audacious. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a plan for a safe getaway. He also requested a refueling truck to be standing by in Seattle, ensuring the plane could take off again without delay. The flight crew, following protocol, relayed the message to authorities and complied with Cooper's requests. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as they awaited further instructions. During the flight from Portland to Seattle, Cooper demanded a flight attendant remain by his side at all times. The flight attendant chatted with Cooper and asked why he chose Northwest Airlines to hijack. Cooper laughed and replied, "It's not because I have a grudge against your airlines, it's just because I have a grudge." Then explained the flight simply suited his needs. He asked where she was from. She answered she was originally from Pennsylvania but was living in Minneapolis at the time. Cooper responded that Minnesota was very nice country. She asked where he was from, but he became upset and refused to answer. He asked if she smoked and offered her a cigarette. She replied she had quit, but accepted the cigarette. The $200,000 ransom was received from Seattle First National Bank in a bag weighing approximately 19 pounds by the FBI as they prepare for the plane's arrival in Seattle. Agents worked around the clock, hoping to outsmart the mysterious hijacker. The hijacking unfolded against the backdrop of a nation already on edge, a nation grappling with uncertainty and fear. The Vietnam War raged on, casting a long shadow over the American psyche, and a series of high-profile hijackings had gripped the public's imagination, each one more daring than the last. The previous year alone saw over 30 hijackings, many by individuals demanding passage to Cuba, a trend that seemed unstoppable. But Cooper's motives were different, shrouded in an enigma that baffled authorities. He didn't seem interested in political asylum or making a statement. His demands were simple yet perplexing. He simply wanted the money, a hefty sum that could change his life forever. As Flight 305 circled above Seattle, tensions ran high, the atmosphere thick with anxiety. Passengers and crew alike wondered about the man who held their fate in his hands, a man whose calm demeanour belied the chaos he had unleashed. Was he a seasoned criminal or a desperate gambler, taking one last shot at fortune? Was he working alone or part of a larger plot, a conspiracy that reached far beyond the confines of the plane? The mystery of D.B. Cooper deepened with each passing hour, each moment adding another layer to the enigma. The plane landed in Seattle. Cooper demanded only one representative of the airline approach the plane with the parachutes and money, and the only entrance and exit would be through the aircraft's front door via mobile stairs, where Cooper released the 36 passengers and some of the crew in exchange for the ransom money and parachutes, a calculated move that left authorities scrambling. As they debarked, Cooper inspected the money. In an attempt to break the tension, a flight attendant jokingly asked Cooper if she could have some of it. Cooper readily agreed and handed her a packet of bills, but she immediately returned the money and explained accepting gratuities was against company policy. She said Cooper had tried to tip her and the other 2 flight attendants earlier in the flight with money from his pocket, but they had each declined, citing the policy. With the passengers safely debarked, only Cooper and the 6 crew members remained aboard. With the remaining crew held hostage, He ordered the plane back into the air, this time with a new destination, Mexico City, a bold escape plan that would go down in history. He gave the cockpit crew his flight plan and directives. A southeast course toward Mexico City at the minimum airspeed possible without stalling the aircraft, approximately 185 kilometers per h at a maximum 10,000 foot altitude. Cooper also specified the landing gear must remain deployed, the wing flaps must be lowered 15 degrees, and the cabin must remain unpressurized. Under the cover of darkness during the flight, Cooper instructed flight attendant to lower the aft stairs. Cooper directed the pilots to fly at a low altitude and maintain a slow speed. He had chosen his moment carefully. Somewhere over the rugged wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, he lowered the rear stairs of the Boeing 727. Before leaving, flight attendant pleaded with Cooper to take the bomb with him, to which he replied that he would either disarm it or take it. As she headed to the cockpit and closed the curtain, she saw Cooper tying what appeared to be the money bag around his waist, and with the ransom money strapped to his body, he jumped into the night. It was a daring escape, a leap of faith into the unknown. Cooper's disappearance sparked one of the largest manhunts in American history. The FBI, aided by local law enforcement and thousands of volunteers, scoured the vast forests and mountains of Washington and Oregon. They searched on foot, by horseback, and from the air, their efforts hampered by the difficult terrain and the approaching winter. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. But there was no sign of Cooper or the parachute he used. The trail had gone cold. Despite the lack of a body, investigators weren't starting from scratch. They had eyewitness accounts from the passengers and crew, a composite sketch of the hijacker and the ransom money itself, which the FBI had meticulously documented, recording the serial numbers of every bill. These clues, however, proved to be more tantalizing than helpful. The eyewitness accounts varied, with some describing Cooper as calm and polite, while others found him nervous and edgy. The composite sketch, while widely circulated, failed to lead to any credible suspects, and the ransom money, the most promising lead, remained elusive. Despite occasional discoveries of individual bills over the years, the bulk of the money has never been found. In 1980, a young boy, while vacationing with his family, made a startling discovery while playing on the banks of the Columbia River. He unearthed a bundle of decaying $20 bills, later confirmed to be part of the D.B. Cooper ransom money. He uncovered 3 packets of the ransom cash, totaling about $5,800. The bills had disintegrated from lengthy exposure to the elements, but were still bundled in rubber bands. FBI technicians confirmed the money was indeed a portion of the ransom, 2 packets of $120 bills each, and a third packet of 90, all arranged in the same order as when given to Cooper. The discovery, while significant, only deepened the mystery. How did the money end up there, and what did it say about Cooper's fate? Some theorized that the money had washed ashore after Cooper landed safely but lost most of his loot. Others speculated that the bills were evidence of a botched landing, suggesting Cooper might have perished in the wilderness. The discovery of the money, instead of providing answers, only generated more questions, fueling endless speculation and debate. Over the years, the FBI has investigated over 1,000 individuals in connection with the D.B. Cooper case. Some were dismissed as hoaxes or publicity seekers, while others presented compelling, albeit circumstantial, evidence. One of the most intriguing suspects was a man named Richard McCoy, who pulled off a remarkably similar hijacking just a few months after Cooper's disappearance. McCoy, a Vietnam War veteran with parachute training, demanded and received a $500,000 ransom before parachuting from a hijacked plane. He was arrested and convicted, but many believe he might have been Cooper's copycat, inspired by the earlier heist. Despite the similarities, no concrete evidence has ever linked McCoy to the Cooper case. In 2016, the FBI officially suspended its active investigation into the D.B. Cooper case, citing a lack of new leads. However, the mystery remains. The case files, now part of the public record, continue to be scrutinized by amateur sleuths and professional investigators alike, all hoping to find the missing piece of the puzzle. Did D.B. Cooper survive his daring escape? Or did he meet a tragic end in the wilderness, his body lost to the elements? Perhaps the answer lies hidden in plain sight, buried within the thousands of pages of evidence, waiting for someone to connect the dots. Until then, the legend of D.B. Cooper lives on, a testament to the enduring power of a good mystery.